can help her, Mr. Green?
Hey, get in here. Dallas is about to start.
Welcome to the Ewing Barbecue. We are a Dallas rewatch podcast where we review every single episode of Dallas one at a time. If you're new to the show, we're in the 6th season. We have over 100 episodes. We just are entering our 5th year of recording. So welcome. My name is Mary.
And I'm Sarah.
Josh here. Happy New Year.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm Melanie. And I do believe Sarah almost forgot to say something because it's been so long.
I know. No, I did. I knew it was second. I was waiting.
Welcome.
What's wrong? I'm really tired, too.
Sarah, that's your cue.
I got it.
A quick thank you to our Patreon members, Brendan Phillip, Captain America, Amy Hara, Marie Johnson, Michael Jung, Jason Carter, Jennifer Andelicato, Laura Bernheim, Brad Mulholland, Anita Wren, and Kristen Carlano. Thank you very much. Also, thank you to a lot of our brand new free subscribers. We have been accumulating quite a few of you that have started to follow us on our Patreon. For free, you can access our Dallas archive, which is a bunch of random things that we find on the internet that are just have things to do with the cast. So music videos and interviews and that sort of thing. And at our paid levels, you can get a bunch of outtakes and bloopers. And now this season, we've started posting those with video. So you're welcome, and I'm really sorry about that at the same time because we're not always ready for video.
Guess what? Chicken butt. I mean,
not ready for prime time, huh?
I've got my jammies on already.
That's
Organized chaos. You get us in the raw. No pretense.
Right. I mean, yeah, that's, if we're not, then that's when we start our OnlyFans.
Or Feet Finder. Wait, is that a new one?
I already have 6 subscribers. No, that's another show. No. Right trip. No.
We got an email.
Fan mail? Oh, okay.
Because we started asking again, like we did 5 years ago when we started the podcast, for people's Dallas stories, like how they get into Dallas and all that. And anyway, we actually got an email from listener Clay Carter. He writes, "Hello, hope this message finds you well. I get excited when I see there's a new Ewing Barbecue episode on Spotify. Thank you, Clay. That's awesome. I'm responding about some of my childhood memories of Dallas, when Pam was wrapped up like a mummy after her automobile accident, and I thought she really was under the cloth, and it freaked me out. I also wondered what it would be like to live like John Ross. Dude, me too. I love Dallas because the storylines are very tangible. Oil, a ranch, and power. It also had just the right pace, not too slow, but not too fast. The Dallas reboot had storylines happen so quick it would have taken an episode and a half to get through it in the 80s. I could go on several more paragraphs, but I will pause. Thank you for your time recording and uploading these podcasts and give us Dallas fans something to look forward to. Best, Clay Carter." Thank you, Clay. That is awesome. I get so excited when anyone sends us an email. We also have a new listener in our Facebook group. His name is Mike Wilson.
Yeah, I remember reading his story the other day. Yeah.
And he wanted to share his first Dallas memory. He was around 9 or 10 and had a bad dream. His dad was in bed. So he sat on the couch and watched TV with Mom for a bit. First scene I see, Pam exploding. Not sure what time I went back to bed that night, but I guarantee it probably wasn't before the local news ended.
Bad dream becomes bad reality.
So he's about y'all's age.
Yeah, it must be.
Happy New Year. It's now 2024. The hashtag Dallas45 is over. We are now doing hashtag Ewing BBQ5 to celebrate our 5th anniversary this year.
Oh.
How was everyone's holidays?
Okay,
pretty good.
Low-key.
Okay, that's good.
Would you like to say what our big announcement is? What we're going to be doing in March? For those of you who are not following us on social media for whatever reason. in the Facebook group or on Instagram.
For those in the Dallas world that have been distracted and have not been paying attention recently, there's a thing called the Hollywood Show out in Burbank, California that is coming up. And on March 1st and 2nd, the four of us are all going to be there. And I don't know in what capacity, because I am in contact with the organizers about a few little things going on. But should I give a rundown of who's going to be there?
Yeah, do it.
Okay. At last count, we had 26 people that have appeared on Dallas at this event. 26. It has to be a record for a reunion. We obviously have Linda Gray, Patrick Duffy, Charlene Tilton, Cherie Wilson, Deb Trinelli, Deb Renard, and Denon Simpson, the first reunion of the Ewing secretaries, and we will be having them on in February to talk about the upcoming event and catch up with them. Kathy Podwell is going to be there. Christopher Atkins, Lee McCluskey, Sasha Mitchell. Steve Canale is listed as schedule permitting. Barbara Stock, who played Liz Adams. Jack Scalia, who played Nick Pierce, is going to be there. Lee Taylor Young, who played Kimberly Kreider. Jenna Lee Harrison, who played Jamie Ewing. And a little bit of odd trivia that I thought of. Yeah, she had the distinct pleasure of playing cousins to both Patrick Duffy and Suzanne Summers, who were married on Step by Step. She played Jamie, Bobby's cousin, on Dallas, and Cindy Snow, Chrissy's cousin, on Three's Company. I just thought that was a little interesting. Omri Katz will be there, and for the first time, we'll meet Josh Henderson. The two of the John Rosses are going to be there. Josh Harris, who played Christopher Ewing, is going to be there. Rosalind Allen, who played Julia Cunningham in in one of the reunion movies, JR Returns, and she played Annie Ewing in Conundrum, which is kind of funny that Brenda Strong played Anne Ewing, different Anne Ewing later. Tracy Scoggins, who played Harv Smithfield's niece, Anita, also played Diane Kelly. Who else am I missing here? Barbara Stock. Lindsay Bloom, who played Bonnie, is going to be there. So all of the drinks, I guess, will be on Bonnie that weekend.
Better than an open bar, but I'm just...
Oh, they're going to have one of those too. Fern Fitzgerald is going to be there.
That's exciting. Is this her first appearance, right?
Yes, and it's years after she was supposed to appear at FanSource in 2008, but had to pull out of it.
I can't believe that was that long ago still. That's crazy.
Kim, we get into a couple minor people here that if you're a really completionist and you want anyone that appeared on Dallas, we have Robert Pine from Chips, who played Jenna's psychiatrist in the Dream Season. Kim Johnston Ulrich, who played Bootsy Ewing in Conundrum. And Stephen Williams apparently played a bailiff during a couple of episodes during Ray's manslaughter trial. Have I covered everybody? That is Sasha
Susan
Mitchell.
Howard, possibly?
Oh, we would like that. Well, if Steve is going to be there and Lindsay Bloom is going to be there, then I think that Susan Howard needs to come protect her man and bring her fur coat.
Like to see that, yes. Oh,
so we are all going to be there. She was just so overwhelmed with the cast list that's going to be there. So it is basically the ultimate reunion, and I know we're going to be meeting up.
Yes, we are all going to be there. We're going to have a get-together that's free, and we'll give you more details later, but I'm pretty sure it'll probably be at the bar at the hotel, which is the Burbank Marriott, I believe.
And it will not be an open bar, but the drinks will be on Bonnie.
Right, yes.
So, side note, you guys, this hotel about 22 years ago was a Hilton, and I went to my very first fan convention there for I Love Lucy.
Fun.
Yeah, so this is like returning to
I Love Lucy convention like?
I mean, what's any convention like?
It's like a normal convention?
Memorabilia, fans, some who cross a line, some who don't. Nobody's really dressed up kind of like the horror cons we went to.
Okay, there's nobody dressed as Lucy or Ethel or anything?
There is like an impersonator, and some of them have like a costume contest, I remember, but you're not just like walking. The people I remember weren't just like walking around dressed up like Lucy. No, there was always like an event.
Did they have anyone that appeared on the show?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's cool.
Okay, that's
of course,
good.
the main four are long deceased, but they like Lucy and Desi's kids were there. They had a bunch of writers. Actually, Lucy's brother and his wife were there at one point. And just a bunch of bit players on all her shows.
Cool.
So yeah, and they've all like kept going to all that stuff, except it was so long ago. They're all like slowly passing away.
Yeah.
Speaking
a lot of them are gone.
And speaking of original four being gone, I just learned before we went on that for anyone that watched The Honeymooners, which Giorgio Petri, who played Harv Smithfield, appeared on, Joyce Randolph, who played Trixie, passed away today at the age of 99.
Oh wow!
So she was the last of the four.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
wasn't The Honeymooners before I Love Lucy?
They're about the same time.
Same time, okay.
Maybe a couple years. I will Google it, but they were about this in the 50s.
Yeah. But the funniest scene I remember on The Honeymooners, I always quote whenever people are moving furniture today, was Ralph and Norton had to move a dresser and they couldn't lift it up, and Ralph goes, Norton, you got to take the drawers out first before you lift the dresser. So they take the drawers out, they put the drawers on top of the dresser, and it still has the same weight, and then they pick it up and carry it across the room.
So how's this? This is wild, you guys. The Honeymooners, 1 season, 39 episodes.
What?
Oh, that's right.
39 episodes from September 19... hang on. It aired October 1st, 1955. Didn't finish till September 22nd, 1956. And then they went into like a variety show format afterwards where it was just like SNL, like a sketch.
Okay.
But 39 episodes, which is like, what, 3 seasons now? 4?
Right. 39 episodes for 1 season. That's bananas.
That's wild.
Dallas
had that
31.
1 season that was like 31 yeah.
But
we were lucky to get 13 out of this year's broadcast one with the strikes and everything, which I'm glad they finally got everything they wanted. By the way.
But they may still add a few more people from what I've been hearing.
We'll see. And we'll see if they add some group photo opportunities. But if anybody is going, please let us know. We will, of course, let you know closer to the time when and where our meetup is going to be. But just if you're going to be in the area, plan on it. I am guessing it'll be either that Friday or Saturday night at the Hilton, the Marriott Burbank.
The artist formerly known as Hilton.
Yeah. And so that's my guess. But, contact us closer to the time. If you're going to be there, just let us know. Give us a heads up. And that would be really cool. I
am working on, we will be having sometime maybe in earlier February or mid-February, with enough time for you to edit, obviously, to get these up before we go. But Kathy Podwell, Cherie Wilson, and Alan Catton, who does their fan sites, will be joining us.
A little side note that if you happen to also be a Twin Peaks fan, there is an event that is coming up in February that I have helped plan called the Real Twin Peaks Weekend. And it is the weekend of February 23rd through 25th, 2024 in North Bend in Snoqualmie, Washington. The local Chamber of Commerce and the North Bend Downtown Foundation have teamed up with fans to create a kind of takeover weekend where we turn the area into Twin Peaks.
Oh, I wish I could be there.
There's going to be discussion panels all around town in different businesses about different subjects. We have the prop master from season 2 coming to talk about props, along with social media people who recreate props and collect original props. We're going to have a Leland Palmer karaoke one night. We are having a pink room dance party, which is going to be amazing. There's going to be location tours, special seatings at Tweed's Cafe, and a Salish breakfast. At the Tweed's Cafe seatings, the band Wisteria Lodge will be playing all of your favorite Twin Peaks music, and much, much more. So, and there's also going to be an interactive thing at the North Bend Theater, which is, of course, the theater that Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me premiered at. They're going to be showing the missing pieces from Twin Peaks, and it's going to be an interactive discussion. So that at any point, anyone in the audience can yell, "Stop!" And then we stop whatever's playing, and then you discuss what's happening on screen. And it should be pretty cool. And so if you are interested in that at all, tickets are on sale right now. There is only 150 VIP tickets available, which gets you some really cool collector shit too. So go to therealtwinpeaks.com and check it out and get your tickets.
I assume that I'm not a coffee drinker, but there will be plenty of coffee flowing.
Oh, yeah. There's also going to be the Policeman's Dream, which is another event, which you get to watch the cities do the proclamation of Twin Peaks Day while having bottomless cups of coffee and as many donuts as you can eat.
And will there be, I assume Tweeds will have the cherry pie going too?
Oh, yeah. Tweeds will have the cherry pie. And fun fact, that next door to Tweeds, or 2 doors down from Tweeds, is the North Bend Bakery, and that is the real pie served in the return. And I know that for a fact.
Now, if you go to what was the lodge, the Great Northern?
Yeah, the Salish.
Yes. Will there be an opportunity to have the famous Jerry Horn sandwich of baguettes with butter and brie?
Actually, now that you mention it, one of the local restaurants is creating that sandwich you can get that weekend. So
so good.
Should totally head over. It's
I
going to be
wish
amazing.
I could make that there, but I have to be putting my pennies away for California.
It should be. We're trying. Hopefully, if it's a good turnout, it's something they're planning to do every year. So check it out. It's going to be great. What about birthdays?
Okay. Birthdays. Let's start with we'll start with what we missed because we're in a new year now. January 3rd, Victoria Principal turned 74. If you can think about that. I'm trying to do the math on this. January 7th, Fern Fitzgerald celebrated her birthday, and she is 77. Yeah, 77. Okay. January 13th.
Yeah, we're going with that.
Yeah. January 13th, Sherilyn Ratina would have celebrated a birthday. She was born in 1956, who played Jackie. So, 68, she would have been. Sad story with her. Daughter of Leonard Katzman. January 14th, Barry Jenner was born in 1941. He would be 83.
Dr. Henderson.
Dr. Henderson and Jeff Cunningham on Knots Landing, Abby's ex-husband who kidnapped the children. Also, January 14th, 1986, Donna Reed passed away. Very sad to see what happened to her after her season on Dallas, the way she was let go. I would have been all right. Yeah. She had tough shoes to fill, and
She did.
If she had originated the role, then it would have been hers to begin with. But I think she really would have been better served coming on maybe as a relative of Clayton's, or maybe Garrison had a wife that we didn't know about that showed up, and it was her.
I think that just her, all the problems people have with her portrayal of Miss Sally, none of which were her call, I don't think, you know? She didn't pick out her wardrobe on the show, and
She didn't do the lighting that she complained.
Didn't do the lighting. She didn't write the scripts.
If Barbara Bel Geddes had not come back, then you would have had to kill Miss Ellie because Donna Reed passed away the following season. So
that's true. That's true. Huh.
So it's, I don't know.
I'm glad that Barbara Bel Geddes decided to come back either way. Thank you for your service, Donna Reed.
Not to diminish it, but it's like one of those filling the seats at the award shows until the other person gets back. I don't know. That's not like that, but
that's an actual job. I didn't realize that. Like
they
hire people to do that.
That's crazy.
And I believe
when the camera pans out, they don't want empty spots. It's weird.
And I believe Tyler Banks' mother may have done some of that or had something to do with something along those lines.
It seems like a good gig. Like you just go sit down and watch a little bit of a work show.
And you're surrounded by all these people.
Yeah.
January 16th in 1993, Glenn Corbett, who played Paul Morgan, passed away. And born on January 23rd, 1950, so she'd be 74 as well, Meg Gallagher, who played Luella, and she has passed away as well. So, yeah.
And of course, January 19th, I was born. So
your birthday. Yay.
That's right. You and
your dog.
My little pet Lux.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop there with birthday stuff.
Me and Dolly Parton and Edgar Allan Poe.
And Desi Arnaz Jr.
And Janis Joplin.
I have been meaning
company.
You are.
I have been meaning to listen to Dolly Parton's rock album that she released.
Oh yeah, it's all right. You know, it is what it is.
It's serviceable. She did get Ringo Starr and Paul McCartney back on Let It Be. So
I mean, right? Who else was going to do that?
Right, exactly.
Dolly Parton. She's hardcore, man. Don't mess with her.
Yes.
Okay, tonight we are talking about season 6, episode 22, episode 125. This thing is directed by Larry Elikann. I'm hoping that's how you pronounce it. I believe he also directed Dallas the Early Years later on, and it's aired March 11th, 1983. Which the number one song in the U.S. on that day was Billie Jean by Michael Jackson. And in the UK, Total Eclipse of the Heart by Bonnie Tyler. The number one film in the U.S. was still Tootsie. And top news stories from this week. Then the 9th People's Choice Awards was this evening. And the 9th, yes.
Wow.
And Burt Reynolds, Jane Fonda, and Katharine Hepburn win for Motion Picture. Tom Selleck, Linda Evans, and Loretta Swit win for TV. And I guess it's a big deal because I kept seeing things about it everywhere. The Ice Dance Championship at Helsinki, Finland, was won by Jane Torville and Christopher Dean. Born this day was the rapper Gouda Gouda and singer Carrie Underwood.
Gouda Gouda named after cheese.
Yes. Died today was Austrian entomologist Stephen von Breuning and Lorleen Hunter, who was an American jazz singer, died at 63.
I'm not laughing at their deaths. I'm just laughing at their names. There's the tongue twisters.
Very Austrian. And
I've been drinking. And on Dallas, we had an episode that jumped up from 4 to 1 because people want to see what's going on between Bobby and JR here. Stuff's going down.
Walt Driscoll.
Oh, yeah. Walt Driscoll, who played Dr. Josiah Bartlett on St. Elsewhere. Episode 291 of the series was written by Leonard Katzman's son, Mitchell, and it was also named The Sting. And this is the only instance of an episode name being used twice on Dallas. And on March 10th of 1983, the day before this episode aired, 60-year-old, yes, she was only 60 at the time, Barbara Bel Geddes completed filming for season 5. And 5 days later, on March 15th, she underwent triple bypass
season 6.
She 5 days later, on March 15th, she underwent triple bypass open heart surgery at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Can y'all hear me? Okay, because I was here. I had a whole conversation a few minutes ago, and my mic was off. So,
Oh no!
Gotcha.
No, it was like just a little bit. But I was just going to say when we started, I said that I'll say more about this later, but I really like this episode. I was watching it in the car today, and so I was really concentrating because I was like trying not to hear music from him, and I have my earbuds in, and I just thought it was like a overall like the whole episode like looked better. Like I don't know what was different. I mean, I've watched the last ones. I haven't been on here in a couple of episodes, but I've been watching them. This one for some reason looked like a better quality.
It's because they're HD now.
Okay, it's just even the way that the script flowed a little bit. I don't know. I just thought this episode. Maybe this is the first one I've like paid attention to in a while or something. But I liked the episode.
And I have to say, piggyback on that, I really noticed it this time too because I have been watching Falcon Crest on Amazon Prime, and I'm on season 8, and I'm using the Amazon Fire Stick, which I got in a what I call a Red Sox gift swap here in the Boston area. We don't say Yankee gift swap because we hate the Yankees. And that episode, those episodes of Falcon Crest were looking a little bit grainy and
Like
pale, dated. And then I watched this morning or early this afternoon for tonight's episode that we're recording, and everything popped. It just popped out of the screen.
Even the blue eyeshadow looked bluer.
Right. It's like all the colors are amazing. It's just,
it is different. And I've never really, I guess.
Including Morgan Brittany's eyes, which were incredible to begin with.
Oh, yeah. When she's on the floor in that scene with Pam and they're like talking on the floor and her eyes are like blue.
Yep. In this episode, we open on some immediate action.
That's what I said. Plan A activated.
Plan A activated, some intense music. Walt Driscoll walking out of his motel room, gets in his car and drives off.
And he's lost everything, including his wife and job.
Until he's hit by Ray.
And if you notice in that very first scene when he jumps in the car in the fury and he backs out, in the backing up process, it's I mean, backing up, he did it. I was like, shit.
Yeah.
I was wondering, as I hadn't watched this episode in a long time, I was wondering where he was going to be struck, whether it was when he was backing up in the parking lot or whether it was going to be coming out into the street. And the street makes much more sense because Ray has the right of way in the street.
Yeah, but the thing is like, I feel like he could have easily avoided that accident if he literally had looked at all, but he didn't.
Yeah. Nope, not 1 second.
You know what I've noticed? A lot of people that I've seen do this thing. They in driver's ed, they teach you to look left and right, and then left again, right?
Yes.
They don't look left a second time.
Yeah.
Bam.
Yeah.
And you always end up looking in the direction that you are turning last, I guess. Because you want to have your eyes on the road and not something else.
I keep going like this even as I'm pulling out because, it's too. Because at the very last minute, someone comes whipping around that corner and I'm particularly thinking of one near my house. I'm like, nope.
Right, you don't want to be destroyed in traffic. I know we have people in my town that red lights are optional to them. They run red lights. They take lefts on red lights when nobody is there.
I look both ways when the light turns green now because of people blowing red lights.
Oh, yeah.
Walt is so flustered that it's not surprising that he gets in that accident,
Yeah, he just without Ray's
suspicious.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
And it's an unplanned distraction.
All over his face.
It's an unplanned deviation from his agenda of getting to where he has to get to.
Because at first he's mad. He's like, "Are you kidding me? You just hit me." And Ray is like, "Whoa, you saying this was my fault?" And he's like, "You know what? It doesn't even matter. Like, cool. You know what? My insurance will cover. I just gotta go. So bye." And then Ray's like, no, but we have to like exchange information. And
he was like,
And then the cops just show up out of nowhere. Somebody called them.
Wow. Yeah, that's a
like
good timing.
Like they were waiting for this to happen.
Yeah, the Braddock County Sheriff out of nowhere.
And then while they're talking,
Braddock County. He was in Braddock County. I don't know where he's staying. I mean,
it must be because it was a Braddock County Sheriff's Department. And then
just down the road from Southport.
There's suddenly a commotion. All the people in Braddock are like, my God, what's going on?
there had to have been 20 people out there. And I'm like, really?
For a fender bender. And who's among them but Bobby?
Yeah.
Robert James Ewing.
Bobby's back there being, don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. And he's like walking up to the car and you see what he's doing. He's like watching and he's like, place the briefcase.
Crouches down below. You know what the whole crowd showing up reminded me of is when you were in school and a fight broke out, suddenly just everybody descends upon the fight and everybody goes up. Or in the neighborhood, I know we had one time the side of the house went up in flames and the fire department came and they happened to be on the next street over for a grease fire in their kitchen. So it was very easy for them to just pop over to our house. But the whole neighborhood just comes running behind the fire truck over to our house, and it's just like a massive crowd. That's what this crowd reminded me of. They just all surfaced from nowhere.
Yeah.
It's like,
but luckily for Bobby, like he had his window open and everything. Like he didn't even have to open a door. It's just like burp, easy.
Like, this was way too easy. And then he gets up out of the car and looks at Ray, and he's like,
I love how he's standing behind the tree, and you can see in the background he's going. In the background behind the tree,
like,
and the cops it's so obvious. I'm going.
He shines the bat signal up.
Oh my God!
This was another in a line of Bobby Ewing spin-off ideas here. Bobby Ewing, private.
Detective.
This one he's actually pretty good at. And so then Walt takes off right away because Walt's like, okay, are we good then? Okay, bye. I got to go. So then they're like, yeah, leave. And then like the second he takes off, Bobby just walks back over and he's like, hey, thanks, Ted.
Ted.
And we find out Ted was involved in the whole shebang from the sheriff's department.
Oh, so Bobby has a sheriff's deputy on retainer, kind of like JR does.
Of course, yes.
That was like when Bobby happened to know the sheriff in the town where Lucy had been kidnapped by BJ and
he
the
has
bear.
All his connections.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then Bobby and Ray look into the suitcase or the briefcase that they had just stolen from the car, and they find in the hidden bottom a stash of moolah, and they're like, "We knew it. He was going to a payoff."
And we learned later that it totaled about what 100,000.
100,000, yeah.
100,000. Mm-hmm.
And Bobby laughs about it, and he says, "Wait till he opens that briefcase. The rest of his hair is gonna fall out."
Oh, no.
All right, Bobby. Jeez. All right.
What a dick.
And then we get to airport security. Walt, he's just like, hey, and they're like, you have to put your thing through the scanner. He's like, no, I want you to hand check it. And they're like, well, but
give it a
and
shot.
he's like, because I have film. And they're like, it's not gonna. I've been this person too who asked them to hand inspect film. And they're always like, it's not gonna affect the film. I'm like, you don't know that. This is important film. And they're like, all right, well, do I actually recently did this with VHS tapes because I didn't know how VHS tapes reacted with and I know that they can't, magnets can erase them. And so I asked them to hand inspect because it was like the one video that I know my dad is on. And the guy was like, you're lucky that I was here because I know what those are. No one else here even knows what those are. I'm like, VHS tapes?
Yeah.
Like, motherfucker, I'm not that old. Shut up.
Oh my God. I put my noise machine, my white noise machine in my carry-on once, and airport security was like, what the hell is this? And it's like this round cylinder thing. And I was like, open my bag. Like,
Yeah.
it's nothing. It's
It's a
literally
white noise machine.
a thing that goes like, it's not a, you know what
Did you turn it on for them and demonstrate?
No, like they took it out and they were like, oh, like, yeah, because it has that, plug on the end of it and it says dome on it and it has a high and a low. So whatever, guys. It's just easier to travel with earplugs now.
Right. So the lady hand inspects it, and while she's doing it, though, he looks so suspicious. Like, if I was her at that moment, I'd be like, "Wait, oh, you gotta come back here, man," because he's just like sweating.
I know. You can almost see it dripping off of him.
Yeah,
he looks so guilty.
He's like,
he's like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, my god."
He does not get an Academy Award for his acting job here.
No.
Uh-oh.
But then
He
she's
gets
like,
a raspberry award. He gets a raspberry.
You're fine, you can go. And he's like, okay, cool. And then he moves like one step, and then these other security guys come and they're like, hey, come with us, buddy.
He's like, oh no, what? Why? I have a plane to catch.
What?
Oh,
yeah. And then they're like, they just immediately open the briefcase, and take out the false bottom, like not even like at all deterred by it. And then
like they knew it was there.
Almost like they knew it was there, yeah. 2 loaded guns. And you can see Walt just be like, wait, what? What is happening?
And how do you think they got tipped off?
I don't know. It's interesting. I'm not sure.
The little guy hiding in the
cop's
airport.
hey, I think you're going to miss that plane. And Walt is just so dumbfounded. He's like, I have no idea what's happening at this moment. I don't.
Yeah, things went completely south.
Yep, and then we see Bobby just hanging out, like with his back turned at the telephones. Like, all right, Bobby,
don't be suspicious.
Exactly. Then we cut to Ewing Oil. Suellen and Roy Ralston.
Ralston
It's a tongue
Purina.
twister for me.
Ralston Purina. That's all I can think of. Hear this name.
And they're waiting for JR, who's totally late.
Yeah, we'll find out why.
But they think he's just been held up. He'll be there any minute. And they can both wait. And he's like, you can go if you want. Like, you don't need to be here. And she's like, maybe you don't understand the situation, but you're dealing with both of us now.
Yeah. Poor Delulu Sue Ellen.
Nah, it's going to be a whole new life for us. Ellen, girl.
Then JR's dealing with his wiener somewhere else.
Yeah, he totally skipped out on the meeting to go bang Serena for a while.
And do you think that he honestly forgot or that he just didn't care? Like, I wasn't sure about that because later he's like, yeah, it slipped my mind.
I wonder if he got caught up in the moment and was kind of like, fuck.
He's like, I need to go get some. Yeah. I'm going to celebrate.
And then realized he was late and then was just like, okay, what generic excuse can I give them that'll be believable?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. JR.
Pig.
Also, they're like drinking. They talk about opening a second bottle of champagne.
Uh-huh.
Like, I don't mean to be a judgy bitch, but is it even like 1 or 2 p.m. at this point? And they're like,
no, it's after dark.
Is it after dark?
Isn't it after dark when they're sitting in the office?
I thought it was the afternoon, but maybe it could be
early evening or something. I can't remember, but
it's still daytime. It
was like the afternoon because then I thought it cuts to Pam and Pornstash at lunch.
Oh, okay, yeah, they waited for 2 hours, right? Is what they end up saying. Yeah.
I
says, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So they're just getting wasted and fucking in the middle of the day. So I mean, more power
day
to you.
Drinking.
Yep. Yeah.
Day drinking.
So they pop another cork.
He pops us.
JR and Walt are both about to find out what fucking around means.
They'll find out.
Mm-hmm.
And JR is popping himself back into Serena too.
Popping, and then in the next scene, we're popping more corks in the restaurant as Pam and Pornstash are having lunch.
Pornstash.
Sarah's disembodied voice.
And she just tells him how she's so grateful to him for selling his company to Cliff. And he does that like guy thing where he's like, well, I think I know a way you can thank me. I'm like, dude. And she does like, oh,
it's so fucking cringe. Oh, God.
I know, so bad.
Come on,
and then
ride
she
me,
just
man,
says, you're just such a nice man. Yeah? Okay. And he says, well, I tried so hard not to be. I'm like, gross, you guys.
Too much.
Too much. And then, whoops, who do they run into?
Miss Ellie.
Mama Bear.
And it was like awkward. It was awkward.
Awkward. Ellie and Clayton.
Oh. That was awkward as hell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, super awkward.
And Clayton notices the tension, and he's like,
Clayton, yeah,
we can go somewhere else.
So
she's like, no.
It's Clayton and Mark, the two males, that notice the tension, and the women are trying to brush it off somewhat.
They're trying to cover it. Right. And then, and Mark apologizes. He's like, I'm sorry. And she's like, why? And he's like, well, that embarrassed you. And she's like, no, it didn't. I'm like, it obviously did, Pam. Like, okay. It's like, I don't have anything to be embarrassed about. Okay. And then Ellie Ellie seems sad to me.
It's like she said later, she realized that's the first time she realized that they might not get back together. Like she saw something different.
Right. She's like,
right. She wonders if there's more to their lunch than meets the eye.
Right. Yeah. And then, but Clayton's like, you know what? It's not our place to judge. It's not our place. Like, we just gotta, Dallas is a small town and you're bound to run into her. So, and she's like, yeah, you're right.
If Pornstash is dipping his pen into her inkwell, then that's their business. Meanwhile, over at the Krebs mansion. Over at the Krebs house.
Frantic phone calls trying to find Ray, and look who comes stumbling through the door. These two jackasses. Oh my God. They
totally
drunk as fuck.
Yes. And then she's just like, she's not mad, but she's really annoyed. She's like, you could have just called, it's late. I was worried about you fuckers. And they're like, ha.
We made out in the spirit of John Wayne.
Yeah. And Bobby's like, JR's not going to sell guns to the Indians anymore. And she's like, whatever, stupid. Like,
I want to put on some coffee for you fuckers. All right.
It's like, yeah, you two need to sober up. And the guys are just like, they're like little kids.
They are.
If they were in a locker room on a sports team, they would have been snapping towels at each other's asses.
Yeah.
It probably would have been weird, but there we are.
I have to say that honestly, that scene, one of my favorites of all time.
It's a good one.
Dallas.
Yeah. It is.
Because sad when Bobby's face changes, when Donna's like, I was worried. Your wife was worried about you. And Bobby kind of goes,
Bobby goes,
wah.
Oh, yeah. My wife wasn't worried about me.
But then he started laughing again.
Yeah.
So he's
like, selling guns to the Indians. And speaking of JR, he's about to learn that Walt's in jail.
Yep, he does his little like walk of shame into work, and she's like, where were you? And he's like, yeah, sorry, slipped my mind. I had stuff.
I had my wiener in her bun.
Ew. And she's like, okay, that's a cool story, bro, but you really need to call Walt Driscoll. And he's like, yeah, do you have his number in Puerto Rico? She's like, no, I have his number in jail.
He never left Dallas.
Jail.
It does remind me of the Christmas movie, Merry Christmas in Jail.
What was that from?
It's a Wonderful Life. That's it. It's a Wonderful Life.
Okay, yeah.
Merry Christmas in Jail.
Oh, Mr. Potter.
Mr. Potter, yeah.
Yes.
When George is running back through town. Merry Christmas, Mowbray House. That's right. That's right. Mary, it's me, George Bailey. Don't you recognize me? And then Was anyone else watching this on Amazon Prime?
I was watching it on Vudu.
Okay.
What,
Because
this episode?
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
because there was not a single commercial until the last 15
I know.
minutes.
I was wondering why.
Yeah,
Because they usually have commercials.
That's why
Yes, they do.
I just bought the episodes on Vudu so that I didn't have to watch commercials.
I don't blame you, but I was really surprised. I was like, what's going on here?
No, I use the commercials as break-off points if I'm going to watch half the episode one day and half the next day, or if I need to check messages or take notes or jot a few things down, I do it during the commercial break. So, meanwhile,
we cut to the sheriff's office, and JR is asking Walt, like, what happened? And Walt has no freaking idea.
and JR wants to call Garcia himself.
Yeah, he realizes that the ships have left and there's no money for the payoff. So, like, they're in trouble with Garcia's going to not know what's up. So he's like, hey, why don't you give me the number for Garcia and I'll try to smooth it over. And luckily, Walt knows it by heart.
Well, he better.
But I guess people knew numbers more back in the day by heart.
Yeah.
Right. Now, if somebody asks me somebody's phone number and I go,
I barely know my own.
I barely know my mother. Yeah, I know I barely know
their phone number is their name. I go in and I push their name and up rings the phone.
Yeah.
Right. So I only know mine because I put it in for the grocery store. That's the only reason. But yeah, I don't remember anybody else's number. But yeah, back in the day, you had to know people's number. And he knows, I guess he's been talking to Garcia a lot. So he knows that one by heart and he tells it to JR.
I like in some places back in the day, it was like Klondike 5, 769 or something like that. I don't know what Klondike
I think that was before my time.
I just see it in old shows like Klondike 5.
Yeah.
Now everything is 555.
Well, yeah, because that's the fake area code. Yep. So he really wants JR to get him the F out of there. And JR says, hold tight. I'll take care of you, but I got to deal with this stuff first.
Right. Because I got to save my ass before I try to save your ass. And if I find out that I can't save your ass, then I'm going to throw you under the bus.
Yeah. Who's there? And then Mickey and Lucy are coming home from their date.
They pull into the South Fork soundstage, which is obviously apparent that it is on a soundstage at that point.
Oh my God. Like, I feel like I never, in the past, I never noticed that it was a soundstage, but like a shot like that is so obvious that it's a soundstage. Like,
and I actually noticed, I don't ever notice those things like that. And I was like,
And it's funny, I was going through on my phone, cleaning stuff out, and I came across pictures from January 2012, when I was down in Dallas at the South Lamar Studios where they were filming, and I was on the replica set of South Fork, and I have pictures of the matted backgrounds of the ranch and everything, and just the whole outdoor. I should post them up just so people can see them. But ever since then, I now am able to look at things more critically and say, oh yeah, that's a soundstage. Because you can tell by the lighting. The lighting, as good as the lighting is, it's never 100% recreates real life lighting on location.
Right.
So Mickey and
So Mickey says, he's like, I have never asked a girl for permission before kissing her before, but like, it seems like something I should do, but I'm really not sure what to do right now. And you can tell that she appreciates that. And
Are we all getting the feels from what's developing between them right now?
Oh, total feels. Yeah. All the feels. Yeah.
I think you're right. Like it's a sweet thing to do. And honestly, I guess because I haven't watched the ones with him in it in so long, I remember thinking, I used to think he was like really cheesy, but now watching it like as an adult, I'm like, he's the sweetest guy ever.
I know. She's
not used to that. So it's like,
yeah. And and the thing is I think he's not normally that guy, but he sees that that's what she needs. And
I think she sees the good in him and he sees the good in her. Yeah. And it's like a different thing. I don't know. It's really cute. Look at that chill bumps.
And then her reaction basically gives him consent. And so then he goes for it and it's super sweet.
Touches her cheek.
Yeah.
And I have to say, they're both well dressed and they look really good.
Yeah.
And I like her cute little leotard outfit when she leaves the next night.
Yes.
And Bobby goes, "You're seeing a lot of him lately, aren't you?" It's like I think I might have had that outfit.
She's so cute in it. Oh my God.
That was cute.
JR calls Garcia and he says, Garcia's like, okay, yeah, cool. I understand what happened. As soon as you, JR, pay me, then I will give you the paper that says the oil was purchased by Puerto Rico instead of Cuba. And JR's like, okay, cool. Right.
But
his payment and the oil is not in Puerto Rico. It is in Cuba. And if JR wants it, he's going to have to go there and get it.
Sounds like a problem.
Yeah.
Yep.
What
was that guy's name again?
What?
What was that guy's name again? He was talking to
Garcia.
in Puerto Rico. Garcia.
And he is the same. He played Cruz Castillo's dad, Rafael, on Santa Barbara in the late 80s, early 90s is what I know him from.
Did you remember that, or did you see it looking it up?
No, I knew
I
it.
remember that.
I was like, oh my God, that's Cruz's dad.
I've never watched Santa Barbara before.
It was only on for 5 years, but I knew it was 4 or 5 years. I loved it in middle school. So
I might have to watch it.
So then Bobby comes to pick up Christopher for his weekend.
Henry Darrow. That's his name.
So Bobby comes to pick up Christopher for a visit, and for the weekend, his weekend 80s dad visit, and it's a little awkward when Bobby asks, how's your mama? And then she's like, well, I guess you heard the news.
Oh.
And then they have words.
She's like, so I bumped into your mom. And he's like, she didn't say anything. She's like, she didn't? Oh,
shit.
Too much. Uh-oh. And now Bobby's like, I wonder why she didn't say anything.
The cat's out of the bag. You can't shove the cat back in the bag. You cannot shove that cat back in the bag. So spill it, Pam.
It's out. You did it.
I mean, she could have been like, maybe it just slipped her mind and then kept her mouth shut. But Pam was like, I'm going to put it all out there. Well, maybe it's because I was having lunch with Mark Grayson.
Because it made her feel better. She wasn't doing it to be nice. It made Pam feel better. That's why she was saying
that. Yeah. So she's basically like, well, I had nothing to hide. And Pam. And then Bobby's like, well. He's like, well, all right.
But Mom was keeping it a secret too. So obviously there is something.
And then Catherine sticks her nose in it.
Right. Weirdo.
She made it worse.
Of course she did.
On purpose. But
on
still.
Purpose. She's like, Bobby, it's not as bad as it sounds.
It's totally in the room. I want to think if you weren't even in the room, you came into the room to get into the conversation.
And even Pam was like, Catherine,
shut up. Yeah.
It was
cover for me. I have nothing to apologize for or feel guilty about. And then Bobby's like, well, for some reason,
Pam's wearing her balls on the outside of her pants now.
Yeah.
It was worse.
He was banging her to cover up for you.
He was banging her on the table at the restaurant. Okay, is that what you want to hear? I mean, please, come on. No, nothing was going on.
Yeah. And Bobby's just like, yeah, okay, whatever, and leaves. He's annoyed.
Takes Christopher and out the door. Did you notice Christopher was whiny and crying at the beginning of the scene too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Very whiny. He's whining this whole episode, honestly.
I wonder if it
slams that card on the table.
No, I wonder though if it's Eric Farlow's mood or if they want him to be whiny in these particular scenes.
Oh, I think it's his mood. I think they're shooting, and they probably did they bring him in, and so they just have to go with whatever mood the kid is in,
right?
And go with it. So,
and I'd be curious to know if how present his mother was on the set. Like Tyler Banks's mother, Kathy, was on the set all the time, and she was actually
I think
an extra.
They have to be mostly for kids that age,
right? And she was actually an extra in some episodes
Eric Farlow's mother, the nanny? I thought I read that.
Maybe.
Wasn't she? Didn't she play the nanny? Wasn't that Eric Farlow's mother?
Not that I've read.
I thought I read that. Maybe I'm just imagining it. I don't know. I probably am imagining it.
I don't know. But I think it's, I mean, because I believe with kids that little, they're only allowed to film with them for like half hour, hour a day, like really short.
Yeah.
That's why they use twins or dolls.
That's why they use twins. Yes. Yes. So.
And I have
whatever
information.
Whatever mood he was in, that we're shooting.
I have a little factoid to provide when we get to a certain episode.
That makes it more believable, kind of, because kids are shitheads different parts of the day. I mean, you know.
Yep.
It just showed that the kid had a personality.
Yeah. Yeah. And then JR is visiting Walt again at the jail.
Walt tells him about the accident.
Yeah.
And
he said, look, I've had time to sit and think about it here, and the only time I can think that something happened, that it was out of my sight, was when I got into this accident. And Jared's like, accident? What are you talking about?
Accident? Yeah.
And so it's like, I got hit by a gray-haired cowboy in a white truck. Jared's like, that sounds like bullshit. What are you talking about?
Yeah, and I'm sitting here going, JR, did you not listen to what he just said?
Yeah.
Gray-haired cowboy in a white pickup truck.
He wasn't.
He wasn't even thinking about it. No.
He wasn't. Well, and he's just like, whatever, I'm out of here.
Well, you're on your own now. Walt gives that, I'll get you, JR. Yeah, the whole blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. I don't get you, but it's the last thing I ever do.
Pretty much.
Like we haven't heard that before.
So then JR, leaving there, pulls into South Fork. Angrily, he's in such a piss mood at this point. Angrily pulls in next to Ray's truck, which he sees when he gets out. He's like,
brain comes back.
Yep.
And we should note that off on the side, Lucy and Mitch, Lucy and Mickey, see another guy with an M name, Mickey. They're all lovey-dovey by the pool.
Yeah.
They are. They're being super cute by the pool. And JR is just like super. You can see him put two and two together. He's like, gray-haired cowboy with a white truck.
And he looks at the front of the car.
And he's like, Ray Crab's here. And Mickey's like, no, he lent me his truck.
Was Bobby here?
Oh, yeah, he's up in his room. And so he walks out, and then he's like, wow, there's just something so likable about him, you know?
I love Mickey.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have some more overplayed, overly dramatic music going during this.
Yeah, for sure. Mostly the next scene when Bobby bursts into JR's room.
JR bursts into Bobby's room.
Oh yeah, doesn't even knock. Flings the door open.
You're right.
Like
JR bursts into Bobby's room. I literally wrote it backwards. Bobby bursts into JR's. It's JR bursts into Bobby's room. You're right.
You did. Doesn't even knock. Bobby comes out all casual like, and he's like, "Yes."
Bobby bursts into JR's room. Like, we're going to confront each other because I did this to you. No.
Bobby's like, slow your roll, dude. JR's like hopping mad.
So pissed. And at first Bobby like pretends not to know what he's talking about, and then he's just like, yeah, okay, yeah, I stopped you because you're gonna ruin our business.
They don't care what half of the company it is. It's going to be shut down. There's going to be no Ewing Oil. We'll all go to jail, and I'm not going to have that.
So get out of here.
Get out of here.
I'm surprised you didn't say get out of here before I bounce you out of here on your ear.
Make like a tree and get out of here.
Make like an itchy dog and flee.
And then we got to the next morning where Ray. Now, so I'm guessing at this point, what we didn't see. We did not see Bobby call Ray and be like, so he totally knows.
Right. Whoa. And Ray's got some balls the way he approached all that, too.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Because he just comes over and he's like, yeah, I think you lost something. Briefcase.
With $75,000 because we used $25,000 to bail your friend out of jail. Wow.
Yeah, since you were like too busy to do it. And JR's just so pissed.
JR's like, damn it.
And then we got to Pam and Catherine sitting on the floor in Pam's sweet talking, and Pam is all relaxed, sitting in her like peach lounge outfit.
Velour lounge outfit with no shoes on.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, Pam, how's that exercise studio going?
Oh yeah, we've forgotten about that. She's abandoned it. Pam was just marveling about how much her life has changed recently. She's like, I haven't been to my exercise studio. I don't live at home. Yeah. And Catherine just looks like she's silently judging, but like Pam's not picking up on it at all.
And Catherine wants Pam and Bobby together again. Yeah, right.
So she says.
Lies detected.
It's crazy.
Unlike Walt Driscoll, who gets a Raspberry Award for his performance, Catherine gets an Academy Award for her supportive sister role here.
Oh yeah, she plays
and those
it pretty
blue
well.
Eyes,
I'm on your side. Like, you had nothing to be like. Bobby doesn't have a reason to be upset. Like, you're just getting. You guys are separated, and you can have a friend, and he's totally just your friend. Which I don't know if you guys. That there's that song by Olivia Rodrigo that's big right now.
Oh,
the lines are something like, "I totally like him just as a friend. The biggest lie ever said."
Yes, I know that he's my ex. We can't do people reconnect. I only see him as a friend. The biggest lie I ever said.
And that's what that reminded me of.
Catherine's she's crazy.
Yeah. You get to see whoever you want. He's totally just your friend. Pam's like, yeah, he is. Yeah.
and then Cliff, the Barnacle Barnes, shows up to take them all to brunch.
Offers to pay. What? Who is this?
Huh? And he's so having a bromance with Porn Stash. They're going to do a lot of business together.
Very much so.
And he's going to put Barnes oil on the top.
So yeah, thank you so much. Mark and I, the love couple of Clark, and then he says something about Barnes oil, and Catherine is just like, she just like looks at him, blink. I think you mean Barnes Wentworth, and he's like, oh yeah, that's totally what I meant. And she's just like,
she does not like that at all.
And the scene ends on her evil, crazy eyes.
That's almost it's almost like her tick. Did you guys notice that her blink is like almost like her going, like kind of like snap out of it.
Yeah,
no. Like I'm gonna go crazy.
Yep.
Red rum.
Did you say crazy?
Yeah.
So loud today. Oh my.
Bobby's playing with Christopher by the pool when Ellie comes out.
The pool set on the soundstage today.
They really are. That's what I was noticing too. They're like, they really like this setup right now. Yeah, this episode. And then Bobby's like, so why didn't you mention to me that you ran into Pam and Porn Stash? And then she's just like, oof.
Porn Stash.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't want to get involved in your issues.
Which, true, but...
Right.
I mean, I would have mentioned it because I would figure that Pam would be like, well, she's going to mention it, so I'm going to say something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think she wanted to hurt Bobby's feelings, too. She didn't want to see Bobby sad.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Oh, look what this fight for the bidness is doing to them.
Right. And this is where she says, like, she's like, it just made me think for the first time that maybe your separation might be permanent. And like, it really threw me. And that throws Bobby.
Miss Ellie's having all the feels about it.
Yeah.
Porn Stash.
Sad.
And then we cut to what I think is the scene of the episode to me.
Yeah, I like the scene.
Lucy and Mickey at the motel.
Steele's motel.
It makes me feel kind of like weird, but I know it's because neither one of them have their own home. But it makes it seem creepy to me. I don't know. I know that like kids like sneak off and do things. I'm not stupid, but just like she's an adult. She's been married. I mean, she's an adult.
I know.
But I know you're not going to bring somebody back to your family's ranch.
Right. She'd have to either take him to her bedroom, like walk her past her grandma's room,
she can't go to the hayloft. She already had sex with her uncle in the hayloft, so she can't go there.
And like
Right.
he
She's not
lives in
gonna
a
do it in the
bunkhouse. And like he
Oh,
seems
God.
apologetic because of like what a motel it is, but she doesn't care.
No, it's kind of. I mean, it's sweet, but I was just kind of like, ooh.
She's had sex with plenty of professors in motels just like that one.
And
That's
don't
what- I
forget,
guess it's not weird to her. It just means more this time.
right.
It just
and,
means more.
and she has been with a beamskin rug too.
That's true. But probably in
Well,
fancier hotel rooms than that would be my
Right.
guess.
Ew.
Yeah. So he says, like, look, if at any point you change your mind about this, like, I will take you straight home. And she's like, yeah, I know. That's why I can be here with you, because I know that you would do that. Oh,
So yeah, this makes everything so much sadder later.
I know. And so then he totally makes her comfortable. He's basically like, look, I know that something happened to you.
Was it
Was
with
it
your husband?
Like, and she's like, no. And he's like, you can tell me, like, you can trust me. And so she does. She feels comfortable enough to tell him everything that happened, which is big because she's only told Pam.
Right. And I forgot about that until she said it.
Yeah. And she tells him about the rape, the abortion, everything. And he just plays it cool. And he doesn't judge. He's just like,
He doesn't know what to say either. He's just,
he's just like, I don't know what to say here, but you know, he's basically like, I got you. He's amazing about it.
not that same punk kid we saw in Emporio, is it? No, that's
Well, I think it is the same punk kid because this is the kid who was just trying to like hide his feelings, you know?
right.
You know?
It's not the same punk kid persona that he was putting on. It's the veil is coming down and he's becoming himself.
Yeah. And then the more that they exchange like their feelings then for each other, and then, you know, she's ready. She's like, I don't want to go home.
What a guy,
Feeling.
though.
Do it.
I know. Mickey. Yeah.
Oh, Mickey, you're so fine. You're so fine. You pull up. Were you about to do that too?
That's all I'm about.
Tony Basil from Easy Rider.
Right. And then Ewing Oil. JR tries to smooth things over with Garcia.
No one. Then Garcia's going to think it over and get back to him that evening. Okay.
Right.
That's very big of you.
Yeah. And then as soon as he hangs up, Catherine walks in.
In her striped outfit.
That's the one I was talking about. The leotard outfit. No. I'm sorry. That was Lacey.
This is
outfit.
Yeah.
It's like, what is it, like blue and like.
Oh, we're supposed to have outfits of the episode. I don't. I forgot.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, my outfit of the episode is Pam's velour suit.
I see.
But mine's gonna be the leotard outfit.
Then I'll go with this Catherine. I'm not big on the whole outfit scene, but I'll go with this striped number she's wearing right now.
Okay.
You should have said Mickey's tweed jacket and squared off tie.
Yeah, that's right.
Squared off skinny tie that was real big in the 80s.
No, this Catherine's outfit popped more in my head.
It popped more.
It popped.
Yes.
So anyway, Catherine is there because she's like, I feel that we have similar goals. And Jared's like, wait, what is that? And she's like, yeah, we both need to be free of a brother. And he's like, well, I guess we do that.
Siblings.
Yeah.
Evil siblings.
And then Bobby, I guess it's the next morning, Bobby drops Christopher off an hour later than he was supposed to on his visit at Pam's.
Very late. Just call. He could have called before he left and said, I fucked up. I'm late. I'm heading your way.
Right. He could have, and he did not.
Don't tell me he doesn't have a damn phone in his car like JR does. He so does.
Even if not, call from the damn house when you're loading the baby up and say, hey, I'm so sorry. I'm a dick. I'm late.
You have a maid. You could tell her to call Pam. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like,
hey, I've got to go. Call Pam. Tell her wrong way.
Teresa, call
again,
Pam.
you guys, he's a man.
Exactly. No offense.
She's
Josh.
like, I
No
have to
offense.
get Christopher ready by myself. And I'm like, yeah.
It's like,
that's
I
Aaron
did
Oh, I
does,
noticed
dude.
that.
think
I
to
was
use
like,
the phone. I didn't
Yeah.
think to use the phone.
And she's like, well, I have plans today. I have appointments. And he's just like, sorry. And just then the doorbell rings. Pornstache enters.
you get plans with porn stuff.
Porn stash is there.
And Bobby's pissed. And, she planned it so they didn't have to run into each other.
And all
Right.
hell breaks loose.
He's like trying to
Yep.
beat him up.
Yep.
I don't think you
But
should
I
be coming
he's
around
taken
here.
aback that-
I don't think you should be coming around here and complicating things. And
but I think that he's taken aback that she doesn't stick up for him and is like, no, this is my house. Leave.
yeah, bounces him out of there on his ear.
Right. And it's like, he was out of line there.
He was.
Oh yeah.
He came in the house like a caveman, like a Neanderthal.
Aren't we supposed to
Pretty
drink
much
because
like
Bobby
my
wants
wife.
to start a fight?
What?
Do we drink when Bobby tries to start a fight?
Okay,
Do we
yeah.
take a drink?
I didn't even bring a wine today. Look, no.
Yeah.
So Mark says he can't blame Bobby for being upset. Okay.
Well, whatever. Because he would never let that happen if Pam was
I'd
his
never
woman.
let you go in the first place if we were married. And I was like, you sure about that, Mark?
You sure about that?
You sure? You sure about that? Okay.
You sure about that?
Well, it's a good thing Catherine's not there because she's having lunch with JR, who's
He's just happy to be having lunch with one of her mother's children without the fear of getting indigestion, he says.
that's right. That's why I can't read my own writing, yes.
Yeah.
And she quickly points out, Cliff is a Barnes, and she wants him out of her company.
And then he's like, and she's like, well, basically, I'm a really good spy because
I can find out information.
And much like JR wants Bobby out of his company.
right.
Yeah.
And she's like, I have the suite next to Pam, so I know all that stuff that goes on, and she's a part of we're all in business together, so I can find out information, and that will help you. And he's like, yeah, and that it doesn't help you at all, though. And she's basically, you're looking out for Pam's best interest right now. She's like, oh, definitely,
Yeah. He's not stupid.
definitely.
Because her best interest is to be with Pornstache while I'm riding Bobby's pole.
Ew.
So then we cut to Ewing Oil. JR is trying to figure out how.
Bobby's getting an assessment of both ends of the company.
Yes, I was like, how the sides are doing. Yeah, how both sides of the fight for Ewing Oil are going.
And he just clarifies that he's only ahead because including the oil that guy
Right.
doesn't know is missing.
Right, because the
yet, or
guy's like,
whatever.
you're JR's still 10 to 12 million ahead, but Bobby's like, oh, but that is the money or the oil he has in reserve, which we know is in Cuba. And he's like, oh, yeah,
Right.
yeah. But I was like, okay.
Never counted Bobby out, huh?
Not
Nope.
yet.
Then we have a nice happy scene
Gentlemen's
with
Club.
Cliff. With Cliff, a happy
Yeah.
scene.
They're like, hey, oh, hey.
Yeah.
So how much did
But-
Afton make in this episode? Audrey Landis making this episode for one scene.
Yeah.
I'm sure a good amount.
Yes.
So yeah, the cartel is there. They welcome Cliff and Afton to celebrate, and Cliff wants to celebrate him buying Mark Grayson's company that makes drilling equipment.
Cliff is having such a bromance with Pornstache. Oh my god.
It has him in such a good mood that he not only bought lunch the other day, but now he's offering to buy all of the cartel a drink.
Yeah.
What?
Wow.
Who is this person?
I know.
And there's no Chinese food involved either.
No. Cliff is in love now. 'Cause-
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And then we get a quick scene where Bobby arrives at South Fork at night as Lucy's headed out, and she just relays the phone message that the McLeish brothers called, and they'll be in Dallas tomorrow, and they want to meet with him.
And that was the only. He said that was all the message. And she said, "Yeah."
Yep.
So.
Yeah. And then we cut to Ewing Oil at night. Garcia wants to reach an agreement.
And guess what he wants? He wants more.
Percentage
How much
of
more?
which equals, what did he say? 10 million?
25%.
25%.
10 million.
That's 10 million
He said, "You're
smackaroos.
crazy."
And he's basically like, well, you have a choice. It's like paying me that and getting your money or having no money. So, your choice.
Click.
He's like,
And as soon as he clicks and hangs up, guess who walks in? James
She's
Bond.
like, what is up? The deal's supposed to be done and there's no money in my bank account.
and he just looks defeated. He's like, "Well, you're not going to get it. Neither am I. We lost." And she was like, "Oh no, I want my 17 million or whatever it is."
17 million. This is Bobby's fault. No, JR. Don't you blame Bob. This is all your fault.
Right.
And then he tells her that the money and the oil is in Cuba. And then she does the same thing that Walt Driscoll does. And I feel like this is like at the end of every season now, everyone's starting to be like, "I'll make you pay, Jeff. It's the last thing I ever do."
I'll get you, JR, if it's the last thing I ever do.
And then he literally just looks at her and he's like, "Yeah, well, you're going to have to stand in line." Yeah. Which then we freeze frame on JR.
Ta-da.
Which we drink
frame.
with. So.
Okay.
Okay, so I gave this one 4 bourbons and a velour leisure suit.
I give this a 4.25 and Garcia's big fucking cigar, the biggest one I've ever seen.
He's compensating. He's compensating.
That's what she said.
When the bed broke. Oh, boy. I'm going to go with a 4.4 because I think things are starting to twist in the wind, as it were. And I am going to give it a tender and emotional scene, but in a hotel room between Mickey and Lucy.
I'm doing 4.5 just because of that scene with with Ray and Bobby, and a pot of coffee to sober them up.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Nice. There we go.
Oh, yes.
Awesome.
Well, that's a good episode.
That was a good episode. And next time we're going to be talking about the next episode is really good. It's a classic. Season 6, episode 23, episode 126 of the series. Hell Hath No Fury.
Oh, yes.
I
Oh.
like that one.
Yeah.
So,
She won that for a little while.
Yeah.
And we'll keep you updated on all the goings on coming up in California.
Yes.
It seems to be evolving constantly.
Woo.
Uh-huh.
And check out our merch that we have on TeePublic. If you have not already, we have some new stuff that's going to be going up in the next couple of weeks. So please check it out. And until then, bye.
bye, y'all.
Y'all come back now, you hear?
JR can't sell guns to the Indians anymore.
Next on Dallas.
Saying I'm sorry won't bring back $17 million.
I will get the Ewing brothers out of my life. All by myself.
If you want Bobby, you better move fast while this contest for Ewing Oil is still on. And I win.
Here's to winners.
Is that what our marriage is to you now, a moment? You make me feel like I should give you a bill for services rendered.
I want you to know that my relationship with JR is not all his fault. I wanted him more than I've ever wanted any other man.